The fifth set will be played on Neoplanet S. Spawning in the top right-hand position, the blue Zerg from Samsung Khan. His name is Shine. Can he break his losing streak?
His opponent from KT Roaster, spawning as Red Protoss on the left bottom position of the map. His name is Stats.
No, we were talking about the weight issues between Stork and Shine, and that's something I like about Korean culture. People will point out if you're a little bit chubby or fat, and it's just seen as like a normal thing, as like a joke. That's just something I've noticed. In America, people...
I'm pretty sure you did.
People in America will get all uppity about that. Like the producer's shaking his head at me right now.
I mean, I know what you're trying to get at right now, and that's the reason why I'm laughing so much. I know what's going on, so I'm good. I mean, now I've been getting praised for losing some weight after arriving in Korea.
Yeah,
let's just put it that way.
Yeah. I'm fighting the hard fight against obesity,
yes.
man.
You just gotta come to the arcades with me.
Yeah, either that or drink less alcohol. But we know that's not going to happen.
We know that's not an option. That is not an option.
It's not an option. Korean culture is very drinking based as well.
All you have to do is either drink less, like one of the guys out here, or you just have to avoid it.
It's hard to avoid, though, in Korean culture.
It's hard to avoid.
Very hard to avoid. It looks like we have a hatch first from Shine here. Bit of a risky build, but we do have an in-base gateway expand from Stats, going for the double gas first. This will end up working out for Shine. You can't really punish this with the Forge Cannon Rush if you go for the gateway first, of course.
Now,
I've tried,
it does work out for Shine a little bit, but all he has to do is play a little bit more reactionary, scout what his opponent is doing, and as soon as he doesn't see the Forge at the natural, or any pylon,
whoa,
just
hold on, hold that thought. We have 3 hatch before pool here.
Whoa!
Greedy play, but that is how you counter the gateway into expand build.
Whoa. So here's the thing. It does counter a little bit, but if Stats realizes this and goes for a really strong push, then it might actually work out before the units even come out. But we're just going to have to wait and see if Stats is even going to scout in this game.
I think the more important question is, do you think he's going to let the Zealot complete, or will he cancel it at the last second?
Well,
he cancels. And then he builds the Mothership Core.
He builds the Zealot with the Mothership Core.
Interesting.
That was or was that a second Zealot? No, that's only a 1 Zealot. So he actually canceled it. And instead of going for Soccer, he's going for Zealots once again, which he canceled.
The reason why you do that is you wait till the last possible second before canceling the Zealot. If your opponent goes for like a 6 pool or something like that, the Lings will arrive right before your Zealot finishes.
Yes.
So you do it pretty much just to make sure that you're safe against any type of early timings, and if you can cancel it, then cool. You just make your expansion right afterwards, and you're good to go. And so this is just the Mothership Core here. Stats is going to be a little bit behind as far as build orders go.
And I have to say, that was a little mind game from Stats saying, I'm going to make a Zealot anyways, even after I cancel it, so I'm going to go for a push. You better get a lot of Zerglings out, force those Zerglings out. But behind the Stats canceled it and going for a Sentry, so he's, to himself, he's like, yeah, I won the mind game. Except that is not the case.
Not really. He actually kind of lost it.
He lost it since he decided not to scout around the map.
He's going to be pretty far behind, actually, due to the 3 hatch before pool opening. And this is actually what Shine needs to do if he wants to win games, because we always talk about how Shine is such a greedy player. Or, excuse me, such a cheesy player. But he is playing incredibly greedy this game.
Yeah.
And that's going to work out for him completely.
And in fact, all Shine has to worry about at this point is 3-gate pressure from his opponent. That's all he has to survive.
And he can, from the looks of things, his economy will be A-okay.
Yes. The only thing is that he still didn't mind gas, but that's okay because he went for the 3 hatch before the pool. He has 4 Zerglings scouting around the map, trying to see if there's any proxy probes or proxy pylons hidden around the map.
Yeah. I gotta say, I'm actually impressed with Shine's play for once.
And it worked out perfectly.
Everything's looking pretty solid for him here. Stats, he's still in an okay position. He's fine. But the build order battle has been lost, unfortunately, for him. Doing a good job at denying any scouting, though, on Stats' base here.
But Stats is not hurrying up to move out on the map because he doesn't know what his opponent is doing. He's pretty much comfortable at this point saying, yeah, I got the gateways up. I'm going for the expansion, and now I'm slowly pushing out on the map with the sentries and assault. So my opponent's going to be forced to make a lot of Zerglings at this point, so he's not going to have that much economy, but there is a hallucinated Phoenix inside the main base. Not too sure if he actually saw the third hatchery.
This allows Stats to see everything here, for the most part, of what Sean has. So there is no proxy pylon on this side of the map, though.
Yeah, well, that's a lot of sentries still, and sentries in a nice position at the third base can actually cut a lot of Zerglings off.
Yeah, I think he just wants to force a lot of units here. Double Stargate with +1 air attack behind this. So it looks like Stats, he wants to apply some pressure on his opponent, maybe take a third base behind this, and then you know, just focus on that air unit composition.
Yeah, now this is going to be a recall in the end, so there's no reason for Shine to make too many units. Those roaches might be a little bit overboard, as there's no proxy pylon in this position. I mean, what Stats is trying to do is scare his opponent and then recall at the last second.
Yeah, it's working, though, and if you think about it, Shine has not been able to get an overlord in his opponent's space here. Excellent recall. Stats just says, all right, peace out, Girl Scout. I don't want to fight you here.
Because of that, Shine has to go for an attack. His opponent doesn't have that many units out, so it's a perfect timing for him to do so. And he could put a nice aggression on those Solace and sentries. There is a next cannon now. Nice force field trapping 2 roaches in the front.
Yep, the pylon's going to get picked off there, but not the biggest deal in the world. You can remake pylons quite easily here. Nexus cannon is forced down, but other than that, you know, Stats, he's still in a decent spot. He's going to have the Void Rays added into his army mix. And that +1 air attack is going to finish very soon here as well. Evolution Chamber as well as Lair spotted. The Lair from Shine is actually really been, yeah, it's really late.
It's been delayed for a long time, I have to say. I think Shine was trying to make the roaches, saying if there's a pressure, I'm going to try to counter against it. If there isn't a pressure, I'm going to try to bust down with a lot of roaches in the beginning of the game.
Yep, and Stats was trying to trick his opponent here, forcing him to overcommit. The Void Ray is added into the army now. Queen's doing a good job spreading creep across the map as well,
Yeah, but those Queens need to grip up right now, because that's 2 Void Rays moving out on the map. Sending those Zerglings to the top and trying to go for a run-by. It's not going to work out as well, but nice play from Shine.
Nice snipe there from Stats, killing off one of the Queens there. We have a lot of Zerglings going in for a counterattack here, potentially trying to attack the third, but
the Zealot is out of position!
The Zealot out of position. A big mistake from Stats here. This will kill off a lot of probes.
Yeah, killing a lot of probes are also denying the mining time inside the main base. This really hurts for Stats, who is already behind in the economy wars. And you know how we said about the late layer from Shine? Well, this bought him a good amount of time.
Yeah, it certainly did. A lot of probes have been killed off here. The defense has been pretty good from Stats, though, overall, and nice killing, getting a lot of excellent force fields here, helping kind of like equalize this out. The Stalker will end up falling, and Stats needs to deal with these probes here before any more, Zerglings before any more probes die. Up to 9 workers have been killed here. We have a fleet beacon behind this Nexus here.
He's just going for the pure Void Ray Tempest composition. And it's nice to do it, and he's going to go for the recall with the Void Rays.
We've been seeing this play happen a little bit more recently. Bisu, the first player to show it in a televised match. Good force fields here, but the problem is...
Does Zerg can actually win this fight?
Well, hold that thought, man. These Zealots are doing work on the Roaches, and they can't get kited. Remember, Zealots actually beat Roaches one-on-one if you can't run them away.
I forgot about that for a second, because I was like, you know, you got some Roaches here and there. That's a lot of numbers, but Stats got a nice round on the Roaches with the Zealots.
The biggest issue here, though, is the Hydra follow-up. And the Void Ray is the main bulk of Stats' army here. He's going to have to recall that, and he can't even recall.
So close.
Looks like Stats...
He's out of position to deal with the Hydras at the third base.
He's out of position, and he has spread his forces slightly too thin here.
Yeah, and once the Hydras, they can just sit over here, try to pick up the Void Ray. One Void Ray is going to call the second one. Can also go for it, but remember, 4 Void Rays are returning, and those can get picked off. It's better for Stats to send those to the natural instead of sending it right away.
The biggest issue here is the Ling reinforcements. I saw 46 Lings in production here.
26 more on the way.
Things are looking really good for Samsung Khan right now. Shine is just barreling through here. He has an excellent economy. He is the Typhoon Zerg, and that's the style we're seeing from him today here, just making unit after unit wave. Running into his opponent. The third base goes down. The Void Rays will fall shortly as well here, unless they're microed away. things are looking really, really bad for Stats right now.
Now, Shine still needs to think about how to deal with the Void Wave, because if he overcommits once and Stats wins the battle, then Stats can still have a timing to win this game, but that's a lot of Hydras right now.
The Hydras are doing just work over here. Zealot Reinforcement going to buy a little bit of time. There's a lot of Void Rays in the red here. The Zerglings are moving into the main base. They're going to do an excellent amount of damage. Continued Ling run-bys here. They're going to focus on the natural now, and I think that Stats, he's on his last...
He let his hand go from the keyboard.
Yeah.
That tells you the situation that he is in right now. He knows that he's so far behind in this game.
He has the Void Rays, but
yes,
he doesn't have the economy, and once Shine gets enough Hydras out, he can kill the Void Rays very easily, and then there's going to be nothing left for Stats to defend with.
Well, Shine still needs to be careful, because he's been throwing away a good number of Hydras here and left and right. But that's a lot of Queens right there, which
I was going to say.
If he groups up, then it's going to be over.
Look at where the creep is as well, by the way. It's past the third base of Stats.
Starcraft1 or Starcraft2, Shine knows how to use Hydras against Protoss.
He does. That is
that's a fact.
That's a fact. That is a Starcraft fact. Put it in the fact book about Starcraft. Queens in the back here, they're going to be able to join the fight as well pretty soon.
And now Stats is like, oh crap, I can't kill the Hydras with the Void Rays anymore.
Yeah, it's a bit fishy. He's going to do his best here. But actually good force fields here. Going to try to segment this army off. Doing a pretty good job focus firing down, doing the best he can. The problem, though, is the Queen and Hydra count, it's just too big right now.
Yeah, and the reinforcement army is going to finish off. Remember, Stats doesn't have a third base to reinforce the Void Rays.
Last of the Void Rays are falling now. That's going to be a GG is called. Shine breaks his losing streak.
In a convincing fashion.
In a convincing fashion, and defeats Stats in game number 5.
You know, if he said, like I said, if you don't know who the player was and if you ask someone else, people wouldn't have answered Shine unless they died to 3-hatch Hydra so many times in StarCraft 1.
I would have said that was like Jaedong.
Yeah.
Actually. That reminded me of Jaedong's
That was
style.
so aggressive from Shine, but also opened up really greedy, and he made it work.
Wow, so overall, pretty solid play from Shine. I can't believe I'm saying that, but Shine played solid.
Yeah, the build order worked out for him perfectly, as Stats did not scout around the map to see the 3-hatch before pull.
All right, guys, the score 3-2 with Samsung in the lead. The next match will be Stork versus Crazy. Don't go anywhere. This is the SK Planet Pro League.